11 hostages held by Somali pirates for more than 3 years have finally been released. The men who survived their ship sinking have been held in Somalia since the 12th of November 2010. The UN, who secured their release, says they're now safely in Kenya and will soon be repatriated to their home country. eNCA East Africa Bureau Chief Robyn Kriel has been given exclusive access to the freed hostages. She's on the line now from Nairobi. Robyn, great to have you with us. Now, you were there thick in the trenches when things were going down. What exactly went down?
Well, it was really an incredible day, definitely one of the most memorable news days of my career. We flew into Somalia early this morning, flew into Galkayo, which is northern Somalia. We then landed at the airport and essentially picked up 11 crew members from Iran, India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, who'd been held by Somali pirates for the last nearly 4 years. We also picked up 3 Kenyan hostages who'd also been held by Somali pirates who'd been released at a similar time. The people were incredibly happy, joyous, extremely humble, thankful to be rescued by what was essentially the Galmudug security services. It was an incredibly smooth transition. We were on the tarmac as they came up to the plane, put them in the plane, and we just literally landed in Nairobi about 15 minutes ago. A very, very wet time here in Nairobi at Wilson International Airport, but a lot of family members here to greet the Kenyans and, of course, diplomatic officials to repatriate the Iranians, Indians, Bangladeshis, and Sri Lankans.
No doubt a highly emotional time at this stage. So tell us a little bit about the hostages that have been released. I mean, what were the emotions that they were going through, as you said, nearly 4 years being held captive?
One man from Bangladesh took a bite of an apple and then smiled at me when we were traveling and said, "This is the first apple I've eaten in 3 years." When we arrived at Wajir, which is an airport that you have to pass through if you're coming from Somalia to Kenya, they were transfixed by the television because they said they hadn't seen a TV in 2 years. They were telling us dreadful stories, though, of their time in captivity. Many of them had been really badly tortured, beaten on a regular basis, hung by their feet, whipped at times, had ice water, their heads dunked in ice water. One of the crew members had been shot and killed because initially, in the initial stages of the hostage taking, the owner of the ship refused to pay ransom, so they shot and killed one of the Indian crew members and then put his body in a freezer on the ship. These men have been through the most unbelievable amount of trauma. Firstly, they were taken hostage. Then they were kept on a ship which was used as a mothership for other pirate clans in that area. Then that ship sank, so they had to swim to a small lifeboat. 4 of them were killed there. They then were transferred to another ship. Finally, they were transferred to land, and they said when they reached land that was when they were treated the worst, because that's when the pirates really became desperate for money, and they were torturing them on the phone to their family members. They were calling their family members, telling them that they were going to kill them. I mean, the emotional and physical abuse that these people have been through over the past 4 years is absolutely untenable.
At least to my next question, Somali pirates are known particularly to want ransoms when they have taken hostages. Was a ransom paid this time around, and if so, how much?
Yes, there was a ransom paid. It was not, however, the United Nations facilitated this whole release. The UN Office of Drugs and Crime has a special division based here in East Africa called the Hostage Rescue Program. They did not actually pay the ransom. It was in fact a ransom that was taken by that was raised by a maritime support group, which is a civil society organization.
Robyn, what happens to the men now?
Well, I can let you know more tomorrow. We plan to meet up with them tomorrow. An incredible, humble bunch of gentlemen. Tonight they're being taken to a hotel in Nairobi where they will be allowed to sleep if they want to, 2 in a room, 1 in a room, or 5 in a room. You have to remember that these men have been living the last 4 years of their lives in the same room together. It's 11 men that have not been out of each other's company for 4 years. So this whole introduction of hotel rooms and being alone is going to be incredibly traumatic and psychologically disturbing for them. They're being taken to a hotel. Tomorrow they'll be given basic medical exams. Then they'll be given clothes and told to shop. But one of the most important things we're being told by the UN hostage rescuers is that they need to understand that they now have choices. For the last 4 years, they have had no choices. They've been told what to do. They've been told when to do it. They've been shouted at. They've been beaten. They've been abused. And if they haven't obeyed the pirates, they've been abused even more. Now they have choices, and it's going to be an incredible thing to witness when people are now able to make choices for themselves, decisions for themselves, and then in a few days they'll be transported back to their homes where their families are waiting eagerly.
Robyn, thanks for that update. That was our East Africa Bureau Chief, Robyn Kriel. Now, the 11 survivors of the hijacked ship MV Albedo are now safely back in Kenya.
Know more. eNCA.com